Hi guys, this is T.Selvakumar from Audio Media. Welcome to Audio Media channel. Now we are looking at unboxing the Blackmagic Pocket Camera. So I have here Akshara with me. So we are going to unbox the camera and then go through all the features of this camera. Okay, if you look at the contents inside the box, you have the camera, of course. It's sleek, it's like a handy cam, but it's a professional camera in your pocket. It uses a it uses a EN-EL20 battery. This is a Nikon camera battery. You get like a 1 hour battery life from this battery if you're using only 50% display brightness. If you have the brightness full on the display, then you will get only half an hour from this battery, but it's 1 hour is really good, and it's an interchangeable battery as opposed to the bigger camera. The battery is fixed, so you can't recharge that camera battery. Here's a rechargeable battery, and this battery costs something like 2,000 rupees. So mostly you would be in a position to buy 5-6 batteries. So if you're going for an outdoor shoot, then you would probably need like 5 to 6 hours to roll. So this is the battery. Then you also have a power adapter here, similar to this one, with a lot of tips that will support the different countries. So this is the power adapter. So the thing is, like the internal battery, if you put this battery, put the battery inside the camera. This is the door here to put in the battery. To put in the battery, it takes 1 hour 15 minutes to charge a battery to full power. Unfortunately, there is no separate charger for this battery. So when you buy extra batteries, you will have to buy that charger from Nikon. That is not available. Here the only option is to charge the battery using the cameras.
What are the file formats in which the camera records?
Yeah, see, like just like the bigger brother, which is the 2.5K camera, this pocket camera can also record in 3 file formats. It does ProRes 10-bit, it does DNx HD, the Avid format, and also it records in the RAW mode, which is the 2.5K 12-bit cinema DNG. The only thing is this uses some sort of a compression, slight compression, so we could hear the thing has to get recorded onto a SD card. So SD card is the card that is used. So, but the most important thing for you to understand is, like, only an Extreme Pro SanDisk is compatible with this camera. You know, like, this is a very important thing. You can also use the Extreme SanDisk, which is slightly lower priced, but the SanDisk Extreme is only 45 to 60 MB per second transfer rate, and it could only do the ProRes. If you want to use the cinema DNG format in the pocket camera, then the Extreme Pro 64 GB card is the minimum that you require. So this card can record 37 minutes of ProRes footage, and it can do like 20 to 25 minutes of RAW. So you need to buy this card. This card costs some 10,000 rupees in the market, in the computer market. So you really don't need anything proprietary. The card goes in here in the battery slot. So you open the battery slot and then you put in the card here. Once the card is pressed in, you just close the back door and we are ready to go. Put the camera on. So unlike the cinema camera, you don't have a touch screen in this camera. So the mount here is a Micro Four Thirds mount, which is an active mount. You know, like, So we can use a whole lot of lenses from Olympus and Panasonic Lumix on this, and it'll work autofocus and everything would, and even there are lenses from Panasonic which has got the image stabilization built in. So even image stabilization works in this. It's a totally active body. So I'm going to just add in a lens for us so we can try shooting some stuff. So there's a red marking here. Match the red, and so now if you see, you can see that the camera is now ready to shoot. So now it's set it to ProRes. So we have the menu options and buttons here. Everything works on buttons. You don't need, there is no touch screen here, so everything has to work on buttons as far as this camera goes. So there's a focus button here. So if I want to set up focus, I just click it once, it will do autofocus. Now we are looking at the menu options in the camera. So you click on the menu button. There is the camera ID, date and time, ISO, white balance. So here we will have to use the buttons to move from camera settings to audio settings to recording settings and display settings. The main menus you navigate through these things, and then when you want to say change the ISO in camera settings, you hit the right arrow key and then come down to the ISO settings. Now it's set at 200 ISO. I can just increase to 400 or 800. 800 is the default ISO in this camera. So recording with the 800 ISO gives the maximum best quality, and 1600 is be slightly grainy. So now white balance, if it is daylight balance, you set it at 5000 or 5600. The shutter angle also can be varied. We would prefer to have it at 180 degrees when you're recording in 24 frames. Then you go and press the side you press the menu button again, then you could navigate to the other menus like the audio settings or the recording settings. Everything is self-explanatory. The settings are almost same as the bigger camera. You have an iris button with which you can set up the auto iris. So it works. So there's an auto function in this camera as opposed to the bigger camera. So if you want to set up an iris, you just press the iris, it will auto set up the iris. You also have in the menu items, if you go to the final menu, which is the display menu, you have the zebra on off, and you have also a HDMI overlay. So it's got a HDMI out in the side. The 4 inputs and outputs in the side. You have the LA and C LAN connector, which is used to remotely control the focus and zoom of the lenses. And you have a headphone jack. You have a mic input, external mic input. Then you have HDMI, a mini HDMI port, and also a power adapter port. So all this is available in this camera, and it's really portable. It is no means amateur camera or a point and shoot camera. This is a professional cinema camera in your pocket. You can actually just have it in your pocket and go anywhere and shoot very high quality visuals. It records in full HD, so the quality is out of the world. It records in ProRes and Cinema DNG. So if you record in Cinema DNG, then you can change the ISO white balance at any time. If you are using the ProRes also, it will record with 13 stops of dynamic range. So that's like a lot of dynamic range. The picture that comes out of the camera when you keep it in the film dynamic range, then the picture looks washed out. But when you bring it inside DaVinci Resolve and start grading it, you'll get so much detail that there's a day and light difference between what you actually see on the camera screen as opposed to what finally comes out, which is very, very important. As opposed to a 5D Mark II or 5D Mark III, when you record images on 5D Mark II or III, you have a fantastic image to start with, and that is all you get. you're not going to improve the quality in any way in any grading software. If you try to grade a 5D Mark II or Mark III footage, you will only induce a lot of noise. Like there is nothing greater than or better than whatever quality that's already coming out of the camera. So here the camera has so much dynamic range, like 13 stops. So like it looks washed out when you look at the footage in the camera, but once you take it out and on DaVinci Resolve and start grading the footage, the quality would be like out of the world. So this is the most professional camera you could get at this price, only $1,000. The price in India is around ₹1,00,000. You get it with the Indian warranty. The distributor is Aditya Infotech, who's based out of Delhi, and they have branches all over India. The main dealer for this camera is Ratna Photo Stores, and they have a branch at Vadapalni, and also they have a branch at Ellis Road. We bought this camera from Ratna Photo Stores. Like they are a very good dealer and they support us very well.